Welcome back. In today's video, we're diving into the top 8 most valuable copper wheat pennies that could potentially make you a millionaire. Yes, you heard that right. These small, humble coins could be worth a fortune in the right condition. So stick around as we unveil these hidden treasures and their jaw-dropping value. First up, the 1942 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny was struck during a pivotal time in U.S. history. It was the second year of the United States' involvement in World War I. The coin's obverse features Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, a symbol of unity and perseverance. The reverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, showcases the iconic wheat ears, representing America's agricultural abundance. The design of the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny is well known, with a portrait of Lincoln facing right on the obverse. The reverse shows 2 ears of wheat surrounding the denomination 1 cent with United States of America. Around the perimeter, this simple yet powerful design made the coin a staple in American currency for many years. The total mintage of the 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark is significant, with around 1.1 billion coins being struck. The absence of a mint mark indicates that the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Given the high mintage, many of these coins are still in circulation or were saved in large quantities during the years following their release. In extra fine condition, the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny can be valued at around $1.50 to $3 in today's auction market. While this is not a rare coin, its excellent preservation boosts its value among collectors, especially those seeking to complete a set of higher-grade pennies. Collectors are particularly interested in finding coins from the Lincoln series in good condition. This coin has also become popular due to its historical context, as it was produced during the early years of World War I. While there are no major known errors for this particular year, the 1942 penny is often sought after by enthusiasts because of its connection to wartime production. Next up, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny marks the end of World War I, a year of great historical significance. The obverse still carries the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and the reverse is adorned with the 2 ears of wheat. This particular coin is notable for its condition, which, unlike the mint state coins from this era, has suffered damage over time. As with other wheat pennies, the design by Victor David Brenner remains largely unchanged. The only difference in this coin's appearance is the noticeable damage, which could be due to rough handling or environmental factors, affecting its overall preservation and appearance. Around 1.2 billion 1945 pennies were minted, which is comparable to the 1942. Like many coins of the time, most were used in everyday transactions, contributing to the high circulation and worn condition of many surviving examples. Coins in full damaged condition typically don't fetch high prices, and this coin's value is significantly reduced due to its poor state. In the current market, you might expect to see it sold for $73,000, depending on its specific wear and the degree of damage. While it's not valuable in terms of condition, it's still a piece of history from a post-YI America. Coins in such a damaged state are generally not as appealing to most collectors, but they may still hold some value for those collecting unusual or survival coins. This coin doesn't feature any known error, and its lower value mainly comes from the wear and tear over the years. Next up, the 1923 Lincoln wheat penny was minted during a time when the U.S. economy was recovering from World War I. This coin is part of the early years of the Lincoln series and offers a glimpse into the era's numismatic history. The 1923 penny was produced during the 1910s and 1920s, which were marked by substantial changes in the American economy. As with other pennies of the time, the design remains true to the original Lincoln wheat motif. The coin features a right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the reverse displays 2 stalks of wheat, creating a timeless design that has become a hallmark of American currency. Approximately 87 million 1923 pennies were minted, making it less common than coins like the 1945 and 1942, but still relatively abundant. The 1923, without a mint mark, indicates that the coin was minted in Philadelphia. In fine condition, The 1923 penny is valued between $52,000 at auction, depending on its exact wear and any other specific characteristics it may exhibit. The 1923 penny is popular among collectors because of its historical significance and lower mintage when compared to other years in the Lincoln series. Collectors are particularly interested in the 1923 penny because of its lower mintage, which makes it more elusive in fine condition. There are no known significant errors for this coin, but any unique characteristic, such as strong details or even slight die cracks, could increase its appeal among enthusiasts. Next up, the 1948 Lincoln wheat penny came just after the end of World War I and during the start of a period of economic expansion in the U.S. The coin carries the image of Abraham Lincoln and the classic wheat design by Victor David Brenner, which remains unchanged from the early days of the series. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln in his familiar pose, while the reverse showcases the 2 ears of wheat that are symbolic of the nation's agricultural strength. In this case, the coin has become dirty over time, which detracts from its aesthetic appeal. Approximately 2 billion 1948 pennies were minted, and as with most coins of this period, the majority were circulated widely, which accounts for the large number of surviving examples in less than ideal condition. A dirty condition coin typically reduces its value significantly, as it might not be as aesthetically pleasing to collectors. A 1948 penny in such a state might sell for around $37, 50 cents to $1, 50 cents depending on the level of wear and the degree of tarnish. While dirt and tarnish affect the coin's visual appeal, some collectors appreciate these examples for their age and history. However, the dirt condition usually limits its marketability. There are no known major errors associated with this particular year and mint, making it primarily an example of historical interest. Next up, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny came at a time when the United States was emerging from the shadows of World War I, and the nation was beginning to rebuild. The design on the coin remained consistent with earlier pennies, continuing the iconic Lincoln portrait and wheat reverse. The 1945 penny's design is the same as the others in the series, with the detailed bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse. In very fine condition, the details of the design are still sharp and visible, making it a more desirable coin for collectors. A total of 1.1 billion 1945 pennies were minted, which is consistent with the large mintage of coins from the 1940s. The lack of a mint mark means this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. In very fine condition, the 1945 penny can be valued between $63,000 at auction. While the mintage was large, the quality of the coin and its excellent condition contribute to its higher value compared to coins in lesser grades. Collectors are especially interested in high-quality examples of the 1945 penny, as it marks the post-war era. While there are no significant errors on this coin, it remains a strong piece for those collecting fine examples of Lincoln wheat pennies from the mid-20th century. Next up, the 1940 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny was minted during a pivotal moment in American history. This was just before the United States entered World War I, and the country was on the brink of a new chapter. The early years of the 20th century had already been marked by social, economic, and political change, and the 1940s would bring further challenges and transformations to the U.S. In 1940, the United States was preparing for war, with the events of Pearl Harbor still a year away. This period also marked the height of the Great Depression, though there were signs of economic recovery. The U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins to support daily transactions, and the Abraham Lincoln wheat penny was an important part of that effort. The 1940 wheat penny features the iconic design of Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor David Brenner on the obverse. Lincoln is depicted facing right with a strong, determined expression, symbolizing the nation's endurance. The reverse features 2 stalks of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots and prosperity. The without mint mark designation means that the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the primary facility for minting pennies during that period. The design of the wheat ears on the reverse was a popular motif during the early 20th century, and it represented the American farmer's contribution to the nation's growth and stability. The 1940 Lincoln wheat penny had an impressive mintage of approximately 1.1 billion coins. This large number suggests that the coin was widely circulated, and many of these coins have been lost to time or wear. The high mintage, however, means that the 1940 penny is not one of the rarest in the series. However, when found in fine condition, this coin stands out among its peers due to its relatively well-preserved state compared to others that have been circulated for decades. Coins in fine condition exhibit moderate wear, but still retain clear details, particularly on the obverse portrait of Lincoln and the wheat stalks on the reverse. Market value. As of today, the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition can be valued at around $83,000. This valuation is influenced by factors such as demand, condition, and scarcity. While not a particularly rare coin, its age and historical context give it an added value. Coin prices can fluctuate depending on market trends and the auction environment. Collectors are particularly interested in coins like the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny because they represent a crucial period in U.S. history, just before the outbreak of World War II. While the 1940 penny does not feature any major errors, collectors still seek out high-quality examples, especially those in fine or better condition. Some collectors may also look for coins with unusual toning or other subtle characteristics that can enhance the coin's appeal. The 1940 penny is part of a larger series of Lincoln wheat pennies, which are highly collectible due to the different designs and the historical significance of the coins. As part of the Lincoln series, the 1940 penny remains a favorite for many collectors who are looking to complete a set. Next up, 1951. The United States had fully recovered from the Great Depression and was now firmly entrenched in the post-World War II era. This period marked a time of economic growth and transformation, with industrialization and consumer culture booming. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny was struck in a time of prosperity and optimism, representing a symbol of peace and growth in the country after the war. The early 1950s also saw the beginnings of the Cold War, and tensions between the U.S. and the Soviet Union were escalating. The U.S. Mint was still producing massive quantities of coins to keep pace with the growing economy, and the Lincoln wheat penny was a staple of everyday transactions. Like all Lincoln wheat pennies, the 1951 penny features the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, surrounded by the words Liberty and the date 1950. The reverse features the iconic wheat ears, with the inscription United States of America and a pluribus surrounding the denomination 1 cent. The extra fine condition of this coin means that it shows only light wear, with most of the original details still visible, particularly the strong features on Lincoln's face and the fine lines of the wheat stalks on the reverse. Extra fine coins are typically highly valued by collectors due to their excellent state of preservation. The absence of a mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the primary location for minting pennies in 1951. This lack of mint mark is common for pennies of this era, as Philadelphia was the minting hub for most Lincoln wheat pennies. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny had a significant mintage of about 1.1 billion coins, making it a relatively common coin in circulation. Despite the high mintage, coins in extra fine condition are less common due to the natural wear and tear these coins would have undergone during decades of circulation. Market value. In extra fine condition, the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny can be valued between $46,000 depending on the auction house and the specific details of the coin. While this may not be considered an extremely rare penny, its good condition and historical context make it a desirable piece for collectors. The value is largely driven by its quality. Coins in extra fine condition retain much of the original detail, and collectors are always on the lookout for high-quality examples of more common coins, especially as part of larger collections. The price can vary depending on the demand at auction, the reputation of the seller, and the number of available coins. While the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny does not have any widely known errors or variants, it still garners interest among collectors who focus on the finer details of the Lincoln series. Some errors, such as double die obverses or other misprints, may occasionally appear, but these are rare. For most collectors, a clean, well-preserved example of the 1950 one penny is a highly sought afterpiece to add to a collection. Collectors are drawn to this coin due to its connection to the post-YE era, as well as the ongoing fascination with the Lincoln Wheat Penny series. A coin from this year is a symbol of post-war prosperity, and collectors who focus on the 1950s often appreciate the historical value of the 1951 Lincoln penny. And that concludes our deep dive into the 1940 and 1951 Lincoln Wheat pennies. From their historical contexts to their design features, mintage numbers, and current values in today's auction market, these coins tell unique stories and offer a glimpse into America's past. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning to explore the world of numismatics, understanding these coins' place in history and their market appeal is essential for any serious collection. Thanks for joining me today at Expensive Coins. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content about rare coins and their value in today's market.